Hey everyone. Today, let's talk about something we all use but maybe don't really think about all that much, the printer. We're going to peek under the hood of this essential machine and really unpack the incredible engineering that makes it all happen.
You've done it a million times, right? You click print, and a piece of paper comes out a few seconds later. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder what's happening in that little gap of time? It's definitely not magic. It's a seriously cool feat of engineering, and we're about to break it all down.
Okay, first up, we're going to dive deep into the workhorse of pretty much every modern office, the laser printer. It turns out there's this incredible, super precise 7-step dance. You could almost call it a mechanical ballet that happens every single time you print a page.
So from the outside, yeah, it's just a box. But what's going on inside is wild. It's this sophisticated system that uses static electricity and heat in what's called the electrophotographic process. It's a beautiful little dance between physics and mechanics, all hidden away in there.
So, here's our game plan. These are the 7 steps. Every single laser print job, no matter how big or small, goes through these exact stages. Let's break them down one by one.
First things first, processing. Your computer shoots all the print data over to the printer. The printer's little brain, its formatter board, takes all that and builds a complete pixel-by-pixel map of the page. It's called a bitmap, and the printer holds it right in its own memory, all ready for the next step.
Next up, step 2, charging. Now we get to the real heart of the machine, this part called the imaging drum. A roller gives this entire drum a uniform, really strong negative electrical charge. You can think of it like prepping a blank canvas before you start painting. But, our canvas is electric.
And here is where the laser in Laser Printer finally makes its appearance. Step 3, exposing. A super precise laser beam scans across that charged drum. But here's the cool part. It only fires where your text and images are supposed to go. And wherever that light hits, poof, the negative charge is erased, leaving a neutral spot. It's basically drawing an invisible electrostatic version of your page right onto the drum.
So how do we make that invisible image, visible? With toner. That's step 4, developing. Toner is just this superfine plastic powder that's also negatively charged. A developer roller gets it really close to the drum, and since opposites attract, the negative toner sticks only to those neutral spots that the laser just drew. And just like that, we have a visible image.
We've got an image on the drum, but the whole point is to get it onto paper, right? So for step 5, transferring, a sheet of paper gets pulled in. As it passes by the drum, another roller, the transfer roller, gives the paper a strong positive charge. This positive charge is way stronger, so it literally yanks that negatively charged toner image right off the drum and onto the paper. It's like a perfect magnetic handoff. At this point, though, the toner is just sitting loosely on the paper. You could literally smudge it off with your finger. We need to make it permanent. That's step 6, fusing. The paper passes through a super hot set of rollers called the fuser unit. The heat and pressure instantly melt the plastic toner particles and fuse them right into the paper fibers. And that is exactly why paper is always warm when it comes out of a laser printer. It's fresh out of the oven. And last but not least, step 7, cleaning. A little rubber blade just scrapes off any stray toner from the imaging drum, wiping it totally clean so it's ready to be charged up for the very next page. The entire 7-step cycle is complete and ready to go all over again, sometimes in just a couple of seconds.
Okay, so that's all the mechanical magic happening inside the box. But how do we actually tell the machine what to do? That brings us to the software side of things, and honestly, one of the most common points of confusion for users and even new IT techs.
Take a good look at these 2 windows. They look almost identical, right? They're both about printing, but they do completely different jobs. And trust me, mixing these 2 up is a classic rookie mistake.
Okay, let's nail this down because it's super important. Printer properties. Think of this as being for the hardware, for the printer itself. This is the technician's dashboard. It's where you update drivers, configure network ports, or tell the PC you physically installed a new part, like a duplexer for 2-sided printing. Now, printing preferences, on the other hand, is all about the document you're about to print right now. This is where you, the user, go to choose stuff like landscape orientation or to print in black and white for just this one specific job.
We've covered the inner workings and the software controls. Now let's get our hands dirty and talk about what it takes to keep these machines running like a top. Proactive maintenance.
When a laser printer has worked hard and churned out tens of thousands of pages, it's going to need a tune-up. And that's where a maintenance kit comes in. It's not a random box of parts. It's a specific set of the components that wear out the most, all designed to be replaced at once. So what's actually in the box? Well, inside a typical kit, you're going to find these 3 key items. the feed rollers that grab the paper, the transfer roller that moves the toner image, and that fuser unit that melts it all on. These are the parts that take the most abuse in the whole process.
Okay, let's put on our technician hat. A user comes up to you and says the printer is constantly jamming, or maybe it won't even pick up paper from the tray. What's the very first thing that should pop into your head?
9 times out of 10, it's the feed rollers. After thousands and thousands of pages, the rubber on them just gets hard and smooth and it loses its grip. It's exactly like having bald tires on a car, no traction. Replacing them is a core part of printer maintenance.
All right, here's another common one. Your prints are coming out looking awful. They're smudged, blurry, or worse, you can wipe the toner right off the page with your finger. What's going on inside the machine?
And this just shows how it all connects. These symptoms point directly to a problem in those final stages of printing. It's either a worn-out transfer roller causing a blurry image, or a failing fuser unit that's not getting hot enough to bond the toner. And the good news? Both of those parts come in that maintenance kit.
So we know what parts to replace and what problems they solve. But what's the single most important tool a technician uses to know when to perform this maintenance? It's not a screwdriver or a wrench.
It's the page count. Simple as that. See, manufacturers design these parts to last for a specific number of pages, say 150,000 prints. The printer keeps track, kind of like an odometer in a car. And when it hits that number, it will usually display a message like "Maintenance Kit Needed." It's all about being proactive and using data, not just waiting for something to break.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Whether you're an IT professional or just someone who wants their office to run smoothly, understanding this whole process, from that 7-step ballet of the laser to the software controls to the maintenance cycle, that is what ensures these critical devices operate efficiently and have a long, productive life.